But I always try to get in a sip of water before like the live kicks in. It's only 3 seconds and I never seem to manage to do it in time. So pardon me while I hydrate. I'm down here working on my computer for a while after I get the kids to bed, which is often my nightly routine. And, you know, when you haven't been talking for a little while and your mouth can get a little bit parched. So when I realize I'm about to start speaking, I realize I should probably hydrate myself as well. So good evening, good afternoon, good day, good morning, wherever you may be watching this, whatever time zone you may be in. Welcome to EmTV Live for Wednesday, June 12th. And it's me, I'm your host, Emily. Sometimes referred to as M by my loved ones, and here on EmTV, I like to refer to myself as M because it's EmTV. Haha. I don't really though, do I? I usually call myself Emily or Emily Haruko Leave because that's me. All right, so I was just sitting here deciding what it is that I want to talk about. What do I feel moved to share today? What's the message, the download, the transmission coming through for you guys this evening? And what's so apparent for me is to just share a little bit about our inner critic, the saboteur, the sabotager that lives inside of all of us. Because if you've been watching these videos, you'll know that mine's been running a little bit rampant these days because I am about to step out in a really big way on Friday and share some of my music and some inspirational speaking on Friday to a group of, right now, that stands at 22 people, are coming out. 22 people have spent their money and are dedicating their Friday night to come and spend an evening with me, where I am going to talk and inspire, ideally, and I'm gonna sing and share my music. My personal music, all 8 songs that I recorded last year in my musical journey that I am personally calling my Artist Resurrection. And so I'm stepping out in a really big way. I had a girlfriend of mine who is also coming to the show, and she said to me yesterday, you know, it's really cool to see you because I can tell that, you know, you're still nervous, you're really humble, and yet you're so confident. But you're not confident, like conceited and like, oh, look at me. And it was a wonderful reflection, first of all. And hey, Miranda. Oh, I miss you too. So it was a wonderful reflection for me because the distinction that I had for her was actually, I don't actually think that I'm very confident. I have no idea how the show is going to go. What I do know is that everybody that's there is rooting me on. Everyone that's there wants me to succeed. So remembering that can be really helpful. Also, what I shared with her is that I don't actually think I'm confident. What I know about myself for certain is that I am courageous. And I learned something a few years ago, this very powerful distinction that confidence is actually a byproduct of being courageous. The first step in any form of confidence is courage. It is the willing to step up and to step out in a way that you haven't before. And after you do that, when you're able to reflect back, you can see that potentially you gain some confidence because you know that that courage propelled you to a new way of being, a new level of comfort zone, a new operating system, if you will. So the message for tonight is essentially, don't let your inner critic be the one that calls the shots in your life. So we all have an inner critic. We all have a higher self. We all have a powerful self. We all have the inner leader, the inner authority in our life, our authentic self. We have this part of us that is always yearning for more, that is an infinite river of love, that is completely compassionate and accepting and tolerant. And we have a side of ourselves that is the opposite, that is demeaning, that doesn't believe in us, that wants to keep us small and safe and comfortable, a part of us that doesn't want us to step out too big, that doesn't want us to shine too bright, that doesn't want us to stand out from the crowd. And some of the words that we have for this, that I have for this, are your inner critic, the one that's always in there criticizing you, or your inner saboteur, the one that's literally out to sabotage you, right? To sabotage anything good that you might have going, any way that in which you're about to step out and break your comfort zone. This is when the saboteur and the inner critic, this is when they get the loudest. When you're endeavoring to do something you've never done before, when you're on the verge of breaking your comfort zone, when you're going to step up and step out in a new way, this is when that voice gets so loud. And this beautiful way that you can incorporate with that voice is to know that when it shows up in your life, it's because you're onto something. It's because you're doing something that is going to expand your capacity for joy, for courage, for self-expression, whatever it is. So my inner critic has been going crazy leading up to Friday's show. And it's really been a wonderful opportunity for me to interact with it, to know that, okay, it's here and it's showing up because I'm onto something. I'm doing something that's going to expand my range. I'm doing something that's going to give me confidence, not there yet, that's going to give me confidence in how I want to live the rest of my life. I'm venturing to this avenue of self-expression that I have never before ventured to. So the inner critic's been going crazy. Who do you think you are? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? You're going to fail. It's going to be crazy. You know, people are going to hate it. They're going to waste their time. They're going to waste their money. And I know none of that is true. And first, the reason that I know none of that is true is because it hasn't happened yet. So when our mind goes to a place of trying to predict the future, when our mind goes to a place of, you know, trying to predict how it's all going to be, this is when fear creeps in. We make up what we think it's going to be like. This is also where anxiety kicks in, because we're worried. We create anxiety, we create energy around something that hasn't happened yet. So the ability to stay present, to stay grounded, to breathe, and to pay attention and to be in the space in which what is going on around you, that's what's powerful. Not to let your inner critic run rampant. And so here's the thing. Here's the point of the video tonight, guys, is that you're always going to have your inner critic. They're not going anywhere. So many times I work with people and they're like, I can't wait till I get rid of the saboteur. You're never going to get rid of it. This is a part of the human condition. It is a part of how we're wired. And I believe that it is here for us to interact with, to learn from it, to learn how to interact with it. It's here so that we have a tool in which we can relate to other people when we see them stepping up and stepping out, when we see them breaking their comfort zone in a new way. And here's the most valuable lesson for tonight, guys. Just because you have an inner critic, please do not let that be the place from which you make your choices. You have a choice. Does the choice you want to make, is the shot called, is the shot that you're taking being called by the inner critic, or is the shot that you're taking being called by your inner leader, your inner authority, your higher self, your loving self, your most optimal self? You have a choice from which place you want to make all of the choices in your life. So no, are you making that choice from the place of the saboteur and the inner critic? Are they the ones calling the shots? Or are you making the choice from your highest, most optimal version of yourself? And I implore you to do the latter. That is my message for you guys this evening. I hope you enjoyed your time with me, Emily. Thank you for watching EmTV Live. Thank you for spending this time with me. I'm so grateful to share my journey and my story with you guys. And I will leave you with one final quote from the guys that I did the music with, and that is, in your life, dare to suck. Go out in your life and dare to suck. I love you guys. I'll see you soon. Bye for now.